let's take a look at the next type of frequency graph called a frequency polygon. So this is just a line graph of the frequency distribution as opposed to a bar graph. So let's construct a relative frequency histogram and a frequency polygon for the data 1, 2, 1, 0, 4, 2, 1, 7, 1, 0, 8. So I've got the data values listed here. In order to do the relative frequency histogram, so that's the bar graph, we first need our relative frequencies. But let's list our frequencies first. So zeros, we have 1, 2 zeros. Ones, 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. Twos, 1, 2. There are no threes in our list, and 1, 4. So 0 threes, 1, 4. There are no fives, no sixes, 1, 7, and 1, 8. So no 5, no 6, 1, 7, and 1, 8. So now let's go ahead and compute the relative frequencies. If we total up the frequencies, we get 11. So our first relative frequency is 2 divided by 11. If you do the calculator work there, you'll get 0.18 to 2 decimal places. 4 divided by 11, and you will get 0.36 to 2 decimal places. And the rest in the same way. So 0.18, 0, 0.09, 0, 0, 0.09, and 0.09. So these should add up to approximately 1.0. And in fact, in this case, they add up to 0.99. So that's approximately equal to 1, which is 100%. So now we can go ahead and construct our relative frequency histogram. So we're going to need a horizontal and vertical axes here. So our vertical is going to be relative frequency. And then our horizontal is going to go 1 through 8. So we've got relative frequency on the vertical. And then we've got the value on the horizontal. So since each bar is going to represent just one value, we'll center the bars over the values, 0 through 8. And our relative frequencies go up to a high of 0.36. So let's try 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. So our first bar is going to be centered over 0 with a height of 0.18. So about like that. And then bars centered over 1 of height 0.36. About like that. 0.18 height over 2. Then we've got no bar for 3, 0.09 for 4. So bar centered over 4, height 0.09. Nothing for 5 and 6, and then 2 bars of height 0.09 for 7 and 8. So there is our frequency histogram. Now let's do the frequency polygon. So here I just redrew the horizontal and vertical axis. Vertical axis now is frequency instead of relative frequency. Our frequencies have a high of 4. So I labeled off 1, 2, 3, 4 for my vertical. Same spacing on horizontal. So now we want to do a frequency polygon, a line graph for the data. So 0 has a frequency of 2. So above 0, we're going to put a dot at height 2. 1 has a frequency of 4. So above the number 1, we're up at frequency of 4. Frequency of 2 above 2. So that's right here. Frequency of 0 above 3. So that's right down on the x-axis. 4 has a frequency of 1. 5 and 6 both have frequency of 0. And then 7 and 8 have frequencies of 1. So that's this data here. Now we'd like our frequency polygons to touch the axis at the ends. So I'll estimate out here where a 9 would be, and I'm going to put a dot at height 0. And then if I go 1 unit to the left of 0, I'm going to put a dot at height 0. So now we're just going to connect the dots. And there is our frequency polygon.